Hello friends, today we will see regarding the pre-formulation of the drugs. So under this we will see regarding the introduction, organoleptic properties, purity, particle size, shape, solubilization, so on. So basically what is meant by the pre-formulation? So dear students, pre-formulation is nothing but the study of the pure drug before the formulation, because after the formulation there might be the chances that your drug may not stable, your drug may not suitable in the particular dosage form. So that's why in which dosage form it will be mostly suitable or it will be stable. So for that purpose we should have the idea about the its basic properties. Basic properties means what? Its physical as well as chemical properties, like its solubilities, its particle size, its flowing property, so on. So that's why prior to preparation of any dosage form, so we have to go for the pre-formulation of that studies. So in the definition, so broadly we can define it as it is the branch of pharmaceutical science that utilizes the biopharmaceutical principles for the determination of physico-chemical properties of the drug substances. So it's nothing but the biopharmaceutical principles we are applying for the determination of the physical as well as chemical properties of the drug. Or in another way, we can broadly define that just investigation or the finding out your physico-chemical properties of the new drug compound. So that properties which may affect after the or the during the development of the dosage form or on the performance of the dosage form after the preparation. So it is nothing but the, we can say, pre-formulation. So after the pre-formulation studies or during the pre-formulation studies, so we should have the idea that is there any fundamental or physical as well as chemical properties already determined. If they are determined, then we can utilize while pre-formulation studies, as well as the learning of this phase. The learning of this total phase is called as the pre-formulation studies. Now in case of objectives, suppose we are doing the pre-formulation studies, means which objectives we are achieving. So suppose we are studying any new drug, then we are generating or we are recording the different physico-chemical basic properties of that drug. So this is the objective of your drug, and we are trying to avail already studied physico-chemical data of that drug. If the already any salt of that drug is prepared, that also we are going to utilize for the pre-formulation studies. And the same thing when we are studying, then we can utilize this data for the manufacturing of that drug into this particular type of dosage form. We can check or we can decide the dose of that particular drug, as well as we can utilize this data for the any manufacturing purpose, or we can utilize or give this data to the any particular agency also for their further studies, as well as we can utilize this basic data of that drug for its stability testing studies purpose. Now goals of pre-formulation studies. So it is very simple one, that we are going to establish the necessary physicochemical parameters of that drug. So this is the first goal, as well as we are trying to determine the kinetic rate profile of that drug. It means by which mechanism your drug is going to decay. As all of you know that each and every chemical has the decay. So after one particular period it may get expired. So by which rate or by which mechanism it is going to be decay or it may get unstabilized, as well as we are trying to establish its physical characteristics. It means while doing the pre-formulation studies we can get that data, and that data is nothing but its particular some constants. For example, suppose we have done the melting point. So that melting point is nothing but its physical characteristics. So we are determining that thing while doing your pre-formulation studies, as well as we are trying to find out its compatibility with the other ingredients. It means while pre-formulation studies, we are keeping that drug with the other excipients, and we are trying to check its stability or compatibility with the other ingredients also. So by this way we are trying to achieve the some goals like physicochemical parameters we are checking. We are trying to check the kinetic rates. We are checking the physical characteristics of the drug, as well as we are trying to find out the compatibility of the drug with the other ingredients. See friends, these are the pre-formulation studies data or the different parameters. So under the different principles area, we have to count the your pre-formulation studies. So first one is the physicochemical properties, second one is the bulk characterization, third one is the solubility analysis, and last one is the stability analysis. So organoleptic properties, particle size and shape, purity, surface area, these all are coming under the physicochemical properties. Now in the same way we can study the bulk characterization. So in the micromeric characteristics, how the your drug is having the different parameters: crystallinity and polymorphism of the drug, hygroscopicity, particle size, characterization, bulk density, powder flow properties, then solubility analysis like ionization constant, pH, solubility profile, common ion effect, thermal effect, solubilization, dissociation, dissolution constant, stability analysis. It means in which state your drug is having a good stability, like solution state stability, solid state stability, bulk stability, as well as compatibility. Now for the study of any drug, we need the some instruments or the tools for the studying. So initially we will start from the spectroscopy. As all of you know about the ultraviolet spectroscopy, and we have all of you knows the spectrophotometer. So if we are using this analytical tool for the pre-formulation studies, then it will be very much helpful, or without it it is not possible also. So it is assumed that, or it is known that all the drugs absorb the ultraviolet light and they try to get emits inside the cell. So when we have studied the different drugs, then it is found that most of drugs absorb the ultraviolet light in the 190 to 390 nanometer range. Suppose any drug is absorbed ultraviolet light within this range, like 190 to 390, then we can say that the drug is aromatic in nature and the drug contains the double bond. It means suppose we are preparing the solution and we are obtaining the its spectra, then suppose a drug is absorbing the light within the 190 to 390 range, it means the drug is aromatic in nature and its structure having the double bonds. So by this way we can get the idea that its structure having the double bonds and drug is aromatic in nature. As well as we can find out the lambda max of any drug when we are preparing its solution, and that lambda max is very much useful for the dissolution studies, or when we are converting it into the any dosage form like tablet, capsule, then for the dissolution study purpose we need that lambda max. It means at which nanometer your drug is having the most or the maximum absorption, then that data we can be utilized for the further studies. As well as we can predict the acidic as well as basic nature of the your drug by using this spectroscopy. The amount of absorbed by the solution directly proportional to the drug concentration. So all of you have the idea about the spectrophotometer. When we are preparing the solution of the drug and we are keeping it inside the spectrophotometer, so that drug solution will face the particular rays. So ultraviolet light will travel through your solution and your drug molecules will absorb the some light, and that absorption of light is nothing but directly proportional to the drug concentration. It means how much amount of drug was dissolved inside the solution. That amount is responsible for the absorption of the ultraviolet light. So by this way we can check the concentration of the drug present in the solution, and this study or this trick can be utilized for the unknown concentration purpose. Now infrared. Now IR study, it is also one common analytical tool for the studying of your basic properties of your drug. Generally by using the IR or the infrared study tool, we can categorize or we can find out the different bonds of your drug, or we can obtain the structure of your drug also, and we can differentiate isomer group inside your drug. It means your drug is having the cis or trans double bond compound, as well as we can find out the different functional groups present in your drug structure, as well as we can utilize this study for the qualitative as well as the quantitative analysis purpose. It means is there any presence of impurities, how much drug is pure. So by using this infrared study we can find out, as well as we can utilize this IR study for the compatibility of your drug also. Now some organoleptic properties, or when we are having the different type of drug, or when we are studying in new drug, so it may have the particular color, it may have the order, particular taste. So what is the color, what is the order, and what is the taste, we can categorize. So these are the some examples of your color, order and taste. So by this way we can categorize the drug into the particular color, into the particular order and into the particular taste. Now what is the function of your color, or what is the you can say significance of the color of your drug? Some drug are having the white color, some drug are having the off white, some drug are having the you can say cream type color or black color, whatever it may be. So color is generally a function of drug's inherent chemical structure relating to the certain level of unsaturation. See, the color is nothing but the we can say one inherent chemical structure relation of the your unsaturation property of drug. Color intensity relates to the extent of conjugated unsaturation as well as presence of chromophiles. So suppose any drug is having the color, it means it may be due to the presence of chromophiles, and that chromophiles are responsible for saturation as well as unsaturation of your drug. Some compound may appear to have the color although structurally saturated. So some drug may have the optional characters that they may be saturated, but they are having a different type of color with the chromosphere, which are causing the unsaturation of the drug. But even though your drug may have the you can say saturation or the saturated. Now the order and the taste, as each and every chemical may have the particular order as well as the taste. The substance may exhibit an inherent order characteristics as well as the major functional groups present. Now depending on the functional groups, your drug may have the typical type of order as well as the taste. Order greatly affect the flavor of a preparation or the food stuff. As all of you know that if your drug order is acceptable, then it can be we can say incorporated into the oral dosage form. If your drug's order is not acceptable, then we have to go for the changing its order by adding some other excipients. If the taste is considered as unpalatable, consideration is to be given to the use of a less soluble chemical form of the drug. The order and taste may be suppressed by using the appropriate flavors as well as excipient, or by putting the final product. While studying the order as well as taste, suppose we have found that your drug is not having the suitable order as well as acceptable taste, then this data can be utilized by the manufacturer while manufacturing of the drug's tablet or capsule. So he can do something arrangement to hide the unacceptable taste as well as the odor. Now purity. When you are having the pure drug, then we have to find out how much sample it is pure. Sometimes it may have the impurities. So to check the purity, we are using the generally analytical research and development group. Generally, it is a work of analytical department to find out the purity of the drug. It is designed to estimate the levels of all known and significant impurities as well as contaminants. So when we are studying the drug, so how much amount of purity as well as impurity is there? It means, is there any impurity, then what type of impurities are there? It is another parameter allows for the comparison with the subsequent batches. Actually, when we are synthesizing the new drug for the further use purpose, then sometimes we have to go for the synthesis. So generally we are preparing or synthesizing drug on the trial and error batches. Suppose first time we have synthesized and we have obtained that required drug, and we have found that impurity is more, then we can go for the modified synthesis. Again we can check the how much amount of purity is present and impurities are present. Again we can modify the synthesis. So by this way, this purity parameter can be utilized for the comparison with the subsequent batches. Sometimes impurity may affect the stability of your drug, okay, like metal contamination as well as its appearance. Some impurities may have the different color, and that impurities may give that color to your whole drug. So by using the thin layer chromatography, by using the HPLC, paper chromatography, gas chromatography, as well as DSC, differential scanning colorimetry, we can check the purity of your drug. Now the particle size. See friends, before we have seen the various tools